Yoko. What is it? Oh no. He's a Japanese dude and he married John Lennon. Look at the size of that face. Or as if you can't tell, that's just a dude in drag. He was a terrible singer as well, wasn't he? Didn't he just scream? Anyway, John Lennon had a thing for this Japanese dude. Some people believe that that's Steve Jobs. I think you should stop taking drugs and check yourself into the Happy Holiday Motel. It's just a coincidence that Yoko Ono's doing the triad claw. Of course, to end the conspiracy that Steve Jobs is John Lennon. Steve Jobs, John Lennon, there we go. So they say that this is the same person. And again, when they do this bollocks, I'm going to show you in a second. They're saying that that's the same person. Because we're looking at the same skull, that's for sure. We're looking at the same type of glasses. Rounded, close set. John Lennon glasses. It's what we call them. For close set eyes. John Lennon glasses. And then all they have to do, this is all the idiots have to do, is blend a picture. I wish that was bigger. Is blend a picture of John Lennon's face with Steve Jobs. They don't even have the same eyes. That's just for starters. They don't even have the same eyes. See, I've been doing this so they don't even have the same skull. Well, they have the same skull, but not the same type of skull. There's a regional variation in them. They want you to believe that that is John Lennon right there. That looks nothing like John Lennon, does it? And this is how you destroy them. Nah, that's no good. This is how you destroy them. You just go Steve Jobs Young. There's Steve Jobs Young. Looks nothing like John Lennon. Nothing. Not even close to looking. Why isn't that picture opening? Not even close to looking like John Lennon. John Lennon Young. This is how you destroy their bullshit. Everybody is someone else narrative. That anything but they're all flip flops. John Lennon is Steve Jobs, rather than John Lennon and Steve Jobs are both women. Rather than telling you the outright truth, they tell you something else. Satan's way. John Lennon, Young. Ooh, I need your love, babe. I guess you know it's true. That's John Lennon. And that's Steve Jobs. They don't even look alike. This is how they play you. The flip-flops. They're anything but telling you about the flip-flops. Look over here at flat earth. Look over here at fake space. Look over here at mud floods. But whatever you do, don't look into forensic anthropology. Because then you'll be able to see us. Come on, Ed. Bink. Right, I'm back. Yeah, they'll tell you anything but the flip-flop facts. You see, we're beyond conspiracy once you become able to identify your enemy. It's no longer conspiracy. Your flat earth, your mud floods, all of it. It either goes into room 101, it gets effed off, or you keep it as the truth. That's the way it works. It's a 50-50. Just like John Lennon's face, it's a 50-50. Only one of these skulls is going to fit John Lennon's face. It's always a 50-50. Good and bad. Night and day. Hot and cold. Fire and ice. Man and woman. John Lennon is a woman, look. Proven by mints. Look at these feet. 4 o'clock. 8 o'clock, 6 o'clock on Yoko Ono's. You see, I don't care what you say about any of this. These are children, and John Lennon and Yoko are both a pair of nonces. They are. That's the end of it. I don't care what you say, you don't touch children. Jesus told you, any one of you that causes a little one to stumble might as well tie a millstone round your neck and jump in the deepest ocean. Straight out of the Bible. Oh, you're not supposed to listen to the Bible. Jesus is the devil. Does that sound like the devil talking? Jesus is my favorite. Oh, I had a wonderful conversation today. I was walking along, and out of nowhere, I just said, hello, can I take 5 minutes of your time? And I love it when I hear that. Can I have 5 minutes of your time? Last one before this one was an NHS employee. And I absolutely screwed his head up. I forgot to tell you about that one. Absolutely screwed the NHS person up in the middle of the park where I was walking in. Today I was in the same park, and two girls came up. Where were they from? As if I can't remember now. Polynesia. They were from Polynesia. One was called Sister Matu, and one was called Sister, I can't even pronounce her name, Longhao. I can't say her name, but she had a real long name. They were from the Church of the Latter-day Saints. Now, I didn't realise that the Mormons had changed their name to the Latter-day Saints. I thought they were two different religions. Joseph someone, right? I don't know. I don't know. I said, the gold tablet person. She said, yes. So I opened up. Before either of them could even start telling me about Jesus Christ, I opened up on all barrels, like a battleship opening all guns at once. For about 15 minutes. Bearing in mind, most Jehovah's Witnesses and Mormons scare the life out of most people. Excuse me, can I have 5 minutes of your time? No. And there's people running away. Joseph Smith, that's the one. Running away from Mormons and Jehovah's Witnesses. I love meeting Jehovah's Witnesses and Mormons. I do, because I ripped the old dimension apart. I do. Earlier on when I said to her, I've got a problem that he found gold tablets. The first problem is, how the hell does all them gold tablets survive not being stolen and melted down? Right? Any gold that's found, I don't care what it is, it gets melted down. It's no longer the object it was. It's just gold. That's it at the end of the day. You're telling me these gold tablets survived all this time, and then went on to listen. I mean, if you listen to the Mormon faith, it does. It's like the Jehovah's Witnesses. It talks about God and Jesus, but for me, it's still a skewed interpretation of it. And don't get me wrong, if you think that I think the Holy Bible is the whole way to God, you are seriously barking up the wrong tree. God saw the gold and the gold was good. No, he didn't. That's a jeweler speaking. Don't even get me started on what God meant by that, because it's not God talking. Just like when Jesus said use a usury. No, he didn't. He whipped the users and turned their tables. It's one or the other. Jesus didn't contradict himself, did he? Why would he whip the bankers and turn the tables over, and then in another part of the Bible say, if you got no money, use a banker? Makes no sense to me. Someone said that a usury was a warehouse where people would put excess stuff like jeans, shoes, food, clothes, and anybody who's new in town could come and use the usury. That makes sense to me. That I could see my ancestors doing that, having loads of excess stuff that you can just come and take, because nothing was for sale back then. They just made up. Remember, they made up money to control us. But I spent 15 minutes with these two Mormon girls, sisters, and shredded them. I told them both, we're in Revelations, and if you don't come to recognise what your enemy looks like, i.e. the devil, a flip-flop, if you don't recognise them in the general public, then God shall delude you. The great delusion comes. That's what's coming. Your friends, your family, and I know it hurts me. Oh, it hurts me inside so badly. It gives me such anxiety. It keeps me awake at night, knowing that my friends and family are going to fail this test. There's no saying I've made it yet, or you. But I'll tell you what, you've got a better chance than they have. It's like the 144,000. I didn't understand that prophecy until recently. I thought only 144,000 people are going to get saved. It's not. 144,000 priests in the name of God will work his word into the public's minds. That makes sense to me. Not that 144,000 people make it into heaven. Because all the way through history, you're telling me all the little children that have passed away through one reason or another, you're telling me they don't get into heaven? They're not part of the 144,000? Absolutely innocent? Makes no sense to me again. My Father in heaven is loving and all merciful. There's no reason for my Father in heaven to stop the sun and tell a group of men to go and destroy a village, everything in it, including the animals, but all the little virgin girls, you can take them for yourselves. What? That's a nonce talking. It's not my Heavenly Father. And these monsters that have done this to us have translated this book. So I understand when people tell me that they wrote the book. I understand that they wrote the book. I know who did it. We say King James, it's Queen James. And she didn't just write the Holy Bible, she wrote the Book of Demonology, which I've already shown you. They tell us the truth in plain sight. It's good and evil. Angels and devils, just as the way we've been... Angels and demons, just as the way we've been told. But they hide. They hide these facts in front of us. They hid God. The devil hid himself. So when I see these pictures of babies being offered up to Baal, this is it. John Lennon and Yoko were offered up to Baal. John swapped from a woman. Yoko swapped from a boy. This is their analogy of that picture. This is what you've done, that you've put them into Hell's Kitchen. I don't know if they're forced, John Lennon and Yoko, to do this to the children. They can't walk away from it. See, that's the difference. Me and you, the natural, we can walk away from their lies. These people have to carry on no matter what, right? Otherwise they get rubbed out of the story, out off the stage. John Lennon and Yoko Ono are a pair of lying deceivers. John Lennon is not Steve Jobs. Those pink lips. The Bible states that the whole world is to be deceived by Satan. The whole world. It's everyone, including these baffos. Whatever Satan's promised them, it's bullshit. If John Lennon's actually dead, she might still be alive. John Lennon will know the truth right now. That Satan is the father of all lies. Satan was the first person to tell a lie on earth. Pointed chin, Adam's raisin implant. Look at that jawline. Look at the deep set far apart eyes. Look how wide those cheeks are. And then look at John Lennon's narrow face. John Lennon glasses, as we call them. Close set eyes. Yoko Ono, it's a man, final answer. I don't know if I've got a Yoko Ono. I've definitely got a John and Yoko. I don't know if I've done Yoko on his own though. Let's have a look. Was there a Bobby Darin? No. No, there wasn't. Bib, paste. Yoko Ono. There's a picture of John Lennon And Yoko Ono with the bums out. They both got the backs turned to the camera with the buttocks out. And it's so funny because John's got the nice ass and Yoko Ono's got no ass. 1511 Bible, the old Evo states clearly flat earth. Yes, it does. So does the Tinsdale. So does the Geneva Bible. And they all came before the King James. I like the King James interpretation, don't get me wrong. But it's still exactly that. I'd love to see the real book, the real thing, the one they're hiding from us, that has the whole truth and nothing but the truth in it. I'd like to read that, or listen to it, should I say. It's quite simple. Men have square jaws, women have sloping jaws. Where's my actual skull pics? Was that them? There they are. And there it is. I really, the transparent overlay doesn't do justice to that square jaw. Look how square. Honestly, it's an absolute square jaw compared to the sloping jaw, pointed chin of a woman. The difference is so obvious once you can see it. And then when you apply that reasoning, that rationale to those two faces, what do you get? You get a big, wide male face with a square jaw look, and you get the sloping jaw, pointed chin, close to eyes of a woman. The narrow face, the wide face. Look at the difference in the faces. Not the face, the skull. Look in the width of the skull. Then you can see the size of the face. This one has got a bigger triangle look than that one. So simple to see it. Nobody can undo the spell except for yourself. You have to see this for yourself. You have to learn to see your enemy. That's why they armed us all with the wrong facts first. Flat earth, mud floods, fake dinosaurs, fake nukes. Everything but this topic. Because if you'd known about the flip-flops, then you would have seen the liars in flat earth first, wouldn't you? I would have seen Mark Sargent, Dave Murphy, Dolores, Erica Dubé. I would have seen them all. It's beyond me, it really is. We're stuck in Satan's bullshit world. And there he is doing the dirty baffo. Telling you he's a Japanese man. He's my Japanese boy. Ah, he's my Japanese boy. Right, let's go back. Yoko Ono walking. Get into some deep research about time travel and Trump. You will see that John is Steve Jobs. Are you winding me up? I've just shown you there's no chance that it could be John. And then you want me to enter La La Land and time travel. There's no such thing as time travel. We're on a linear course. I can't go back and stop myself from farting yesterday. I can't go forward and see myself farting tomorrow. All I've got is right now, the present. The present moment. Yesterday's gone. Just then, it's gone. There's only now. There is only now, boys and girls. And that's why you are living the moment. That's why they tell you this. There's absolutely nothing that can sway me anymore. I can take your theory, right, that someone can time travel, but it's exactly that. I've entered La La Land. I'm in theory land. There is only the present, right now, and then it's gone. Here's the present coming to me now, and then it's gone. There is nothing new under the sun. Straight out of the Bible. And this has been happening to all of us since the moment we got here. It's been happening for eons, for thousands of years. They've been changing women out to look like men. They've been changing men out to look like women. But they're giving away. And I've shown you this picture so many times. Look at that beautiful diamond. Only a woman creates these lines. Men have straight legs, knees together. Only a woman's knees open when walking. Why would I believe anything that these flip-flops say? Everything they tell me, I just turn it on its head. 180 degrees. It is as esteemed as the potter's clay to turn everything these lying bastards say upon its head. They said they walked on the moon. No, they didn't. They said it was a man, then it was a woman. Even if you could walk on the moon, and you can't. Trans topic is compared. No, it's not. No, it's not. You're talking shite, mate. Here's the difference. Forensics exists. I can check the human skeleton. I can check the human gaits. What I can't check is a DeLorean doing 88 fucking miles an hour into the future. You're talking shite. Absolute shite. There's no such thing as time travel. If there was, I'd be gone. I'd already gone. I'd be up in heaven with God. I'd have forwarded to me death. Take me to my last breath. Boom, thanks. Can I be with God and Jesus now? Thank you very much, Father. Time travel. All this stuff they put in our heads. I bet you think time and space bend and warp then, don't you? Well, they must do to you. You must think that you can fold time over the linear perspective, the future. You think that you can bend that line backwards to either behind me or in front of me, and I can sit at the same age I am now, but in a different timeline. We've just entered La La Land. There's only the present, and I'll tell you what, we're surrounded by liars that will distract you. It's bread and circus as far as I'm concerned. Look, the way I see it is this. They distracted me for 6 years with Flat Earth before I got to this topic. During those 6 years of Flat Earth research, I went through everything. The Montauk Man, the Abominable Snowman, Bigfoot, UFOs, fake nukes, fake dinosaurs. I went through every subject in Flat Earth except for this one. I went through time travel. What did they call that ship? The Pennsylvania. No, what was that ship that was meant to have melted in World War II? The Philadelphia experiment, not the Pennsylvania. The Philadelphia experiment. Again, a load of bollocks churned out by a bunch of people that said they've got nuclear bombs. I like to stick with the facts. You see, the facts are provable in a court, male and female, are provable in a courtroom because there's only two skeletons. God created two of them in his own image. It's provable in a court. I can prove a male and female face. I can prove a male and female gait. But what I can't do is prove time travel. I'm not poo-pooing it. I'm saying it's absolute nonsense. I'm not mocking it. I'm just saying outright it's wrong. Astral projection is how the witches and warlocks can travel into astral. I don't believe in that either. Astral projection is a load of bollocks. Remember the Jezebel? Remember that this one was an astral projector? Flat Earth bet. Bearing in mind, at the time I had no idea it was a flip flop. Right here, this one. Sloping jawline, pointed chin, no neck, no Adam's apple, small dentures, wonky offset eyes, widest in the hairline, not in the cheeks. Here's my face, absolute blockhead lot. I'm not widest in the hairline. This one is. I've got big hairy arms. Big hairy arms. This one, like a dolphin lot. How's it possible? But yet, this one was put in my life. This one comes from my hometown. I'd like to thank Sean for doing the meme on this flip-flop. It's pretty simple. I've got massive teeth. I've got a huge... Look at the size of my dentures. I got huge teeth. But the point is this. This one was put into my life and I didn't recognise it until it was too late. Pretended to be a flat earther. A truther. There's no truth in this bitch here. She delivered babies and pretends to have a penis. What you don't know, you don't know. Time travel, it's not possible. I do know. What you're doing is you're talking about something that someone's created in fiction. It's not provable. But the skeletons, oh, they're definitely provable. And Yoko Ono is a man, proven by the way he walks. John Lennon is a woman, proven by the way she walks. I can prove this. And I can do it with every single celebrity in the world. But what you can't do is ever prove to me that Donald Trump, who you just said, Donald Trump, to you, Donald Trump's a time traveller, not a woman, right? Donald Trump, you believe that this person can travel through time. Bullshit! But I'm telling you now, what you don't tell your listeners is that Donald Trump is a woman, right? A time-travelling woman. That's what you should have said. You might have had more impact on me. But I can prove that Donald Trump's a woman, not a time traveller, a woman. I can prove it. Prove that Melania is a man. Every single one of these liars and deceivers will tell you anything but the fact that the flip-flops. So what you want me to believe, Noose, is that Trump can travel through time, but we can't. Why did God make it possible for the Baphomets to travel through time, but not natural people? It's just a stretch too far. If you can prove me wrong one day, I'll take it all back, Noose. I'll get down on bended knee on video and apologise to you. But I like to stick with reality, folks. I like to be in a world where I know right is right and wrong is wrong. Where my yays are yays and my nays are nays. You'll never hear me talking about any other subjects without telling you we're entering La La Land first. The only one I can't do that with is this one, because it's a proven fact. It's used in courtrooms around the world. Not only to prove guilt or innocence, but to prove sex, male or female. They have tech we don't. Tech that can take you into the future. No, there's nothing in this world that can take you into the future. Nothing. We've left reality at this point, Noose. Haven't we? If they've got tech we haven't. I believe they've got tech we haven't, but not tech that can take you to the future. They have probably got anti-gravity machines. Well, I'll call it anti-gravity. Anti-density machines. They've probably got all sorts of technologies that we don't know about. But there's no way you can make me believe that they've got a time-travelling technology. Here's the other thing, right? If they've got time-travelling technology, we wouldn't even be experiencing this because they would have ended this shit. All they want to do is destroy God. So they'd have gone to wherever in time they could have got to God and killed God. That's what they were. It's just like the Terminator wanting to go back and kill Jesus Christ. They want to send a robot back in time and kill Jesus. John Connor, Jesus Christ. JC, John Connor, Jesus Christ. They want to send a robot back in time and murder the mother of Jesus. That's what they want to do. So Jesus was never born. That's what they want to do. They tell us in their La La Land fictional time traveling films. I'm not fighting. I'm just stating my point. I don't believe in any of their theories. None of it. I don't believe in time travel. I don't believe in space. I don't believe in dinosaurs. There's so many things in this world that I don't believe in anymore. The only thing I really do truly believe in, well, I believe in Jesus. My faith is in Christ. But I don't have to believe in God. Like I told those two sisters earlier on, I don't need faith in God. I can see God. God is self-evident. The first thing they said, how do you know that God exists? I said, by the flowers, by the trees, by the animals, by my dog, by looking at you two. I know that God exists. I'm having a conversation with someone and we can coherently understand each other, even though we come from different parts of the world. That's the power that God has. It's more a case of working out the differences of what Satan told you from what God told you. So God said the earth is stationary, it shall not be moved. Satan said it's round and water bends, even though God made water level. And it doesn't matter. Even when I go through the Bible, I find these same inconsistencies, like the ones I've already mentioned. God saw the gold and the gold was good. No, he didn't. Joel is speaking. When we get to heaven, heaven's going to be made of gold and marble and onyx and jasper and fine jewel. Bollocks! Why would God decorate heaven like that? If God is a spirit, heaven is ethereal. The gates of heaven is ethereal. Ethereal. It makes no sense to me that any of these flip-flops can get away with it. Not now. It's like we said, your eyes are either open or they're not. Your ears either listen or they don't. You know, I can listen to you say that Trump's a time traveller, but you've got nothing that can back up what you're saying. All you can tell me is they've got tech I haven't got. It makes no sense. Shape-shifting lizards, all of this. The shapeshifter is right in front of you. They shifted a woman into a man shape. They shifted a man into a woman shape. Given away by the way they walk, look. Provable in a courtroom. Pictures are admissible in a courtroom. I sound upset. Why do I sound upset? I'm not upset. The power of God changed me. It picked me up and shook me around and then put me back onto the stationary earth. And I was left confused. I was upset then. Back then I really was upset when I realised they'd been hiding God from me. But I was more confused than anything else as to why somebody would do this to me. And I only have one answer. And it's Satan. Satan hates anything that's natural, including me. I was created in the image of God. I'm not God. I'm nothing close to God. I'm certainly not close to Jesus in terms of character and goodness. But I'm learning. I've learned to change my ways. Before, even though I was still a nice, good person, I had a lot of stuff and baggage that these flip-flops had handed to me. Or stacked on top of me as I grew up. As long as we argue and fight with each other, instead of seeing the real enemy, then we're going to get nowhere. the best way to control the opposition is lead them. So that the mass of the world are being led by this lying flip-flop. If Donald Trump was a real good man, and he's not, he's a good woman. If he was a good woman, then he would have come out and she would have come out and told the world what's going on. But instead, they just lead the world on this daily puppet show, this scripted act of wars and mercenaries, and it's just bread and circus for the masses. None of it's even going on. That's right, you heard me. I don't believe in the world wars. I don't believe in World War One. I don't believe in World War Two. Just like I don't believe in the Ukrainian war. I don't believe in Vietnam. I don't believe in none of it. They might have gone there and they might have set bombs off and all the rest of it, but I don't believe it. It's just part of the story. The only story that matters to me is that of Jesus Christ. And how God came down in the flesh and saved whole of mankind, even though we don't deserve it, and most of us don't. That's a merciful, loving God. So merciful that he even gives Donald Trump and all of the flip-flops a chance to redeem themselves. Because Donald Trump didn't ask for this to be done to her, did she? I can't state this enough either. Let him without sin cast the first stone. Before you go throwing your stones at Donald Trump and everyone else, take a good look at you. Jesus said, take the giant piece of lumber out of your own eye before you try taking a splinter out of someone else's. Let him without sin cast the first stone. That's not the devil talking, is it? Quite the opposite. But there are people out there that will lie to me, flip-flops of course, and tell me that Jesus is the devil. You're the devil in disguise. Donald Trump's the devil in disguise. The devil's got a pair of titties. The devil wears Prada. It's a man in a dress, a man with fake boobs. And this is a woman pretending to be a man. And this is the world we've been born into. Howard Stern and Beth Stern, I've already done it. They're already done. Just go to my list, look, use my name, type in Howard Stern. It was done in 1000. See, Howard Stern, 5 months ago. Where was I? Stop putting me off. Oh yeah, back to this lying bitch. So, you want me to believe in time travel without any proof. And if they could time travel, they'd have gone back and killed Jesus. Hello, Red Brown. How you doing, my love? They'd have gone back and killed Jesus or Mary already. You see, Jesus said the only way through to the Father is through me, through kindness, through love, through mercy, through forgiveness. Forgive our trespasses as we forgive those who trespass against us. The Lord's Prayer. When I get angry or upset, it's because of what they're doing to children, and that nobody in this world or nobody around me cares. That's when I get upset. I think how the hell could this world exist with so many non-caring adults in it? But then I remember what the devil did. He deceived the whole world. And for that reason, I have empathy with my friends and family. And to even strangers who don't understand these subjects, because the devil set out to fool them. And it's not their fault that they were fooled. Just like it wasn't your fault that you were fooled. That's why Jesus said, forgive them, Father, for they know not what they do. I didn't know the things I did before. So I could be forgiven for them all upon repentance. Redemption only comes through repentance. that you recognise the evil in this world. You recognise the evil things you've done. All right, they're not as evil. We're not as evil as these people, I get it. But we're still sinned. We're still messed up. Oh my gosh, it breaks me heart. It really does. That people don't understand it or understand it. That this is a test of your solidarity to God, your goodness. The image that he created you in was in goodness, not in evil. If Donald Trump was a good woman, she'd come out and tell us all what was happening. She'd come out and tell the world that it's flat and space. NASA's a lying space agency. But she doesn't. She pushes Elon Musk's SpaceX bollocks. Elon, I'm a follower of the truth. Then tell everyone space is fake, Elon, you lying bitch. Stop hiding heaven from the masses. Let them know that God exists properly. Let them decide for themselves. The way I got to. You see, I came to this conclusion without a pastor, without a pope, without a Bible. And that's the difficulty that your friends and family have. They didn't come to this conclusion that we did by miracle. It was a miracle that I saw these things. It was a miracle that I realised the earth wasn't spinning. Without anybody telling me what I was watching, seeing, doing, I came to the conclusion within 8 minutes that God existed. 8 to 10 minutes. Spent my whole life without a clue that he existed, properly existed, until I was 42 years old. And then he entered my life, and I've never been the same since. I haven't been able to sleep for 13 years. Some nights I'm sat here just tossing and turning till 9 in the morning, 10 in the morning before I fall asleep. But it pales in comparison to the persecution that Christ received. He said no, that they hated me first. I understand that now. I really do. The original truth spitter was Jesus Christ, and they hated him. His own people crucified him. And then I realised they're not his people. They're not his people. That's why he said, if you were my people, this wouldn't be happening. If they put me on the news, what would happen, YouTube? Can you imagine? I'd wake up the world too quickly. And then you'd have riots, you'd have world wars and everything. You'd just... How do you control the masses when you made them so dumb? In that respect, in telling them the truth. They're all going to freak out. I freaked out when I realised I wasn't spinning and God existed. I was sat there crying like a baby. And then I was angry for months. Angry, because everybody I tried to tell about the truth didn't want to listen. They did not listen, they did not know how. Vincent. Hello, Thunderbear. The whole premise that you are insignificant is totally wrong. I think it's quite the opposite. That's why God placed us at the centre of all things. If there is a universe, we're at the centre of it. Earth is the hub of all of it. If there was one, but there isn't. Which makes us special regardless. Why? Why did he put us here? Why is this happening to us? And the fact is that the first two people that he placed here messed up. And ever since, we've all been messing up. Eternal life with God in the Garden of Eden, not want for anything ever, sounds heavenly. instead of this world I'm born into, where the powers that be, the flip-flops that be, charge you for bread. They charge you for water. They charge you for the very land that God created for you to live on. They charge you for... They want to charge you for breathing next. Carbon tax. They charge you for everything. There's a tax for everything. And when you realise all the tax is theft, when you understand tax is theft, and that all these companies, because that's what they are, the NHS, the hospitals, it's all these govern themselves. They've made enough money in the past that they're self-sufficient. Everything else is just a donation to them now because they made so much money. They made so much money in the past. People became, instead of being patients to be cured, they became customers to be kept on a drip feed forever and ever. It punishes me more knowing the mistakes I've made. Oh, I didn't kill anyone, or I ain't done anything bad like that. I've never hurt a woman or a child. I've never done anything bad like that. But thou shalt not steal. I've broken that so many times, Father, haven't I? I've probably got a longer criminal record than all of you put together through my misspent years as a child, when I thought it was hip and fun to get in trouble. We're supposed to get about 120 years on this earth. We used to get 1,000 apparently. Imagine 1,000 years knowing this truth, and I'm only 50. Oh my God. Another 950 years of this shit. There's no wonder God capped it at 120. And I understand it. He looked at what was happening and said it'd be more than persecution to let a natural person live more than 120 years knowing this truth the way we know it. That's where God is almighty, right? By his word alone, he can stop any of this, all of this at any time he wants. A blink of his eye, a click of his finger, a flick of his tongue, and it all stops. After finding out all of this, it's disheartening. I used to love BTS. What? The Japanese, Chinese band, the Korean people. I have a concert coming up. Well, if you spent your money and you enjoy them, go and see them. But it'd be like me going to see Dire Straits. I could never give my money to Dire Straits ever again, and I've been to see them twice. But I could never give my money to Mark Knopfler ever again, knowing the truth. I could never attend one of her concerts knowing she's bread and circus for the masses. See, all of these people, BTS, Mark Knopfler, Justin Timberlake, Beyonce, they all know the world's flat. They know that space doesn't exist. They know that God exists, and they know that Satan exists, and they know what Satan has done to them and what Satan is doing to us. They know all of this. And if you used to tell the masses this truth, most of them wouldn't believe it. They don't want to accept that God's real, because when you do, you accept that you are undeniably in trouble. Aren't you? You're in trouble for the life you've lived, the things you've said, the way you've treated people, the lies you've told, the things you've stolen. You're accountable to God, which most people don't want to be. I'm glad that he gave me the chance to learn of his greatness, that I can change the way I feel, that I can change I can't change the sin, but I can change the way he thinks about me for the sin. Not knowing that he was there is a big part. You got to remember this. Not knowing that God existed is a big part of why you sinned. And the reason for that is Satan lied to you. Which is why he said, forgive them, Father, for they know not what they do. Yeah, I'd have known that God existed, I wouldn't have done 99.9% of the stuff that I've done. I'd love to be forgiven in the living, but I have to wait. I have to wait until this is over to go and meet the Heavenly Spirit that is going to forgive me, my forefather who created me in his image, to be forgiven. See, I forgive all the people that have done things wrong to me, including the Jezebel, the flip-flop I just showed you. I forgive you. The difference is, you can't forgive me for being natural. You can't forgive me for being created in the image of God. See, I can forgive all these people that are created in Satan's image. These men with curvy spines and big asses, look. Stands like an S shape, look. I can forgive all of these people. They can't forgive us. If they can, they'll find their way into heaven too. To be truly sorry for the lies you've told, for the way you've acted, for the peoples and persons you've hurt in your life. Only you can be sorry for those things that you've done. Only you can redeem yourself in the eyes of God. You're not getting into heaven on your works alone. It takes faith. Faith that he is there, that he is watching. He's everywhere at once. He's omnipresent. The devil is not omnipresent. You must understand this. He has to listen to you through microphones and telephones and listening devices. And what he can't do is listen to your thoughts. You do understand this, right? Your prayers. There's only one creator in the world that hears everything from everyone because he's omnipresent. It's God. Satan needs listening devices, and he can't listen to your thoughts. He can't listen to your prayers. You see, they say they've got mind technology that can listen to your thoughts and they know what you're thinking. No, they don't. It's bollocks. When I meet God, there are things that I've done in my life only me and him know. Satan wasn't there. Satan wasn't present. There were acts and things that I've said and done that only me and God know about. And that's what you're going to know. That's how you'll know you're talking to God when you meet him. When this is over, and if the devil tries to intercept you on your way to God, you're going to know it's the devil because you've done things in your life only you and God know about. The devil wasn't there. He wasn't present. You might have been in a field and you might have stood in a big steaming cow pat. Only you and God know about that moment. Satan doesn't. And that's why I can't wait to meet God, because he's going to tell me things instantly. I won't have to question God. He'll already know the questions I have. I'm still more swayed to the fact that we're in revolutions. If we're in the little season, we're going to find out July the 4th, 250 years is up. All hell will be unleashed, right? Hello, Susanna. The point of you being here is to learn. To learn what a fool you've been. How you've been fooled. They told you from April Fools that you are a fool. They're fooling you. You don't even know when the new year starts. How are you supposed to know when the truth starts if you can't tell when the new year starts? Yeah, July the 4th this year, 1776. That's when America was formed. 1776, 2026. Game over. If we're in the little season. If we're not, and I don't believe we are, because they've got Agenda 30, Agenda 40 and Agenda 50 set up, that means I'm in Revelations. But we are going to find out on July the 4th. If we're in the little season, because all hell will be released. The gates of hell will open. Hello, Lynn McIntyre. How you doing, my darling? I never thought I'd be a man of God. I never thought that I would preach his word and tell people, I'm telling people who are already found in Christ the truth the way I see it. They still look at me like I'm crazy. And these are the people that believe in the Bible. I don't believe in the Bible, I believe in God. I believe in Jesus. I know God exists. Where does it say 250 years? It says it's a quarter season, isn't it? Is it a quarter season? I can't remember what it says. Satan will be released after a quarter season, yeah. 250 years. I love the truth. I found great comfort in God's words, in the Bible. I found great comfort in knowing the earth's flat, in that I'm not spinning, that gravity is a lie, that evolution's a lie. There's a great, I don't even know how to explain it. There's a great feeling that you get when you truly know God's there. It takes away all the fear that they've pumped into you in your lifetime. It is like being built up again from scratch. Like he broke me right down and then built me back up again with a stronger foundation, knowing that God's real. Why are these people allowed to talk about Jesus and God? Because it influences us, that's why. None of these people are doing anything good at any point in time, otherwise it would have already happened. The only way that anything's going to get done is when you put a real man into the president's place in America, or a real woman, and then things will get done. I've said it a million times. Make me Prime Minister. Make me Prime Minister for a day. I will absolutely fuck England in the ass. I will. I'll put them all in prison. The doctors, the lawyers, the corrupt policemen. I'll put them all straight into jail. Boom, you bunch of criminals. Then I'll take away rent. First agenda, take away rent from the English people. There's no more rent. Imagine how happy England would be. No rent for none of you because it's your land. These people don't own England. They don't own America. You do. The people do. God gave the land to you. He gave you dominion over the earth of every animal and reptile that crawleth. He gave you dominion of every fish in the sea, every bird in the sky. You should not be paying rent. That'd be my first agenda. Rent's gone. Then I'd get rid of the water, the gas and the electric bills. That'd be the next agenda. Then we'd sort out the bankers. Fourth on the list. Bankers, you're all gone. There's no money in England. It's all gone. Everybody works for free. If you don't like it, and get the fuck out of England and go and work somewhere else where you want to work for money. and we'll have England as a free land of the free and brave. But that's what would happen if a real man or a real woman got in power. There'd be no more private jets. There'd be no carbon tax. Carbon tax. Carbon dating. Don't even get me started. I'm a carbon-based life form. Here we go again. Everything about this world is fake, including carbon dating. Don't even get me started. But that's the difference. When you put a real man or woman into their place, something will get done. The world will change overnight. Hey Pete, sorry to beat a dead horse, but it never mentions 250 years in the Bible. It mentions 1,000 years, 6 times in Revelation. But the little season time period is... It's a quarter of the 1,000 years. I'm sure it is. I've read it. Where did I read it? Little season. Timeline. Where are we? I can barely read that. Eschatology, end times belief is that the belief period after Christ's 1,000-year millennium reign, because it was 1,000 years, Satan briefly released to incite a final rebellion. I can barely read it. Gog and Magog, the final judgment. Blah 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 blah. It's 200. It's a quarter. See, it's a quarter of that 1,000 year of Christ. I've read it somewhere. Images. 3 years of tribulation, 7 years of tribulation, 3 years, yeah. Either side of it. Satan loosed. There. That'll be it. I can't read it though. Didn't I do Paul Stobbs? Isn't Paul Stobbs a flippy floppy? I could have sworn Paul Stobbs is a flippy floppy, isn't he? Yeah, that's a woman. It's a woman all day long. Look at that fucking 5 head. Bitch! Please! I'll tell you now. You take a female skull and just slap it straight in there. Dial M for Masons. Again, it doesn't mean that she's not telling the truth. I agree, YouTube. Because Patricia Stair told me the earth was flat. Mark Sargent told me. Dave Murphy told me the earth was flat. But then again, Dave Murphy tells me that Jesus is the devil and doesn't exist. So I've got to take some of it. It's your own discernment. At the end of the day, it's your own discernment. But that right there, that's a bitch. Please, close set eyes, no brow bone, dial M for Masons, high set ears, sloping jawline, pointed chin, no trachea, no Adam's apple. Paul Stobbs is a girl. But I've covered, like, again, going through YouTubers, it's no point because they've got no gates. They're just YouTubers. All they've got is headshots. I need real people like this that get photographed walking around where I can literally destroy their narrative. That Trump and Putin are arch enemies. They're the best mates. The best mates behind closed doors. It's all just for show. It's just, we're part of a flat earth show. Well, I don't know how to put it any clearer to you. Look at that bitch. Look at the size of that diamond. Women open their knees when descending the stairs. If I had the choice to go back and tell myself about all this, I'd love to. From the age of 4, from my understanding age, from about 4 years old, before I've done anything wrong in my life, told a lie or anything, I'd like to go back and have this conversation with my young self. Teach myself biology, physics. In fact, I'd like to go back and be my own dad. My parents were no good anyway. They messed it all up. They messed up life. If you listen, Mum and Dad, It was through no fault of your own that you did these things to me. But as long as I've still got a breath in me, I'm going to tell the world that God exists. I'm going to tell them that the world's flat. I was talking to a friend in the park the other day, and we was talking for about 5 minutes. Just normal conversation. And then just as I was leaving him, he said something. And I just looked him straight in the eye. I said, look, Beef is an old friend. I said, Beef, the world's flat, mate. Water's level. There's a pond right there. And he didn't even let me finish what I was saying. He went, oh, you was doing so well, Spud. And then you messed it up. And that's one of my old friends telling me, you know, I just can't keep my mouth shut. Damn right I can't. Beef's got what? If he's lucky, he's got 25 years left. He's got no chance. He's triple vaxxed. He's got no chance. Your time's running out to find God, to find redemption, to admit that you've sinned, that you've messed up, that you've been fooled. See, that's the acceptance of this. When you accept that you've been fooled, it's so much easier to be forgiven by God. Because Jesus said, forgive them, Father, for they know not what to do. You didn't know what you were doing. If you knew what you was doing, you wouldn't have stole that car. You wouldn't have broken into that house. You wouldn't have done any of these things. You're going to need a time travel. Yeah, fuck off. No chance. See, that's the thing. I don't need a time travel machine. I've got God. I don't need to go back. I'd like to go back and have myself that conversation, but I can't. I cannot go back. I'm on a linear timeline. I can only be in the present. Whatever the future holds, the future holds. But again, it comes back to your own discernment and how you view this world. As far as I'm concerned, the only time traveller that exists is God. The only one that can go back and do anything and change this world is God. Yeah, tripled, and it's sad. You know what the sad part is? Mum and Dad passed. Straight after they got their jibby jabbies, Mum and Dad passed. And they just can't put 2 and 2 together. That it was that did it. It's like the same people that say that cot death, what is it, sudden infant death syndrome, SIDS, they can't put SIDS together. You know, you get this brand new bundle of joy, the pride and joy of your life, your creation, your true prince or princess, whatever you got, and you let one of these bitches go and inject them with a load of shite. But Gandhi said it's a barbaric act. The thought that injecting shite into a newborn baby on the premise that it's going to make them better and more healthy is absolute nonsense and should be abstained from. And that was 1920s. They told the truth about the Rockefeller Foundations owning the medical corporations and all the rest of it. It's like Marlowe. Marlowe has never been jabbed and he never will be. All these people that take their animals to vets just because they've been told to do it. God created these animals thousands of years ago and there were no vets in the beginning. There were no doctors in the beginning when we got here. It's all a show. Gut instinct tells me that Donald Trump knows who I am. Barack Obama knows who I am. Gut instinct. They don't care about my brother, my sisters, my uncles, my dad. They don't care about them. They don't know the truth. But I'll tell you now, these people know who you are. Especially if you're vocal about it like I am. They definitely know who you are. Because you were made different, right? You were created in his image. And that's what makes you different. What's my take on rabies? Bollocks! I don't believe in rabies. I don't believe in any of that. I don't even believe in AIDS. You got to be kidding me. I don't believe in rabies. Load of bollocks. There may be... What was that film called? Cujo. Was it Cujo? This is the one that did it. They had to make this in... there it is. Cujo. Is it a Steven Spielberg film? Yeah. Cujo. This is the one that did it. Made everybody... Look at them teeth. I'm sure they made them teeth worse. They just made it all up. This film was the one that made everybody believe in rabies and getting your dogs vaxxed and all the rest of it. This is it. Cujo. I told you, they brainwash us from the moment we get here. They brainwash us into believing all of their nonsense. And I told you, I gave up a long time ago on these lying bitches. They scare us right the way through our lives. That dogs are going to get rabies and bite you, and then you'll get rabies. You won't be able to drink water and all the rest of it. Any type of illness, as far as I'm concerned, comes from them. I believe that you can get food poisoning. I believe in that. And I believe in fungal infections. I believe in that. It's provable. But all the other stuff, I don't believe in none of it. It's just man-made. Louis Pasteur. It's all the medical people. Marie Curie, who did the radiation. It's all bollocks. When you listen to Galen Windsor, telling you that he used to swim in the nuclear rod baths in the nuclear power plants. You're like, what? I thought it'd kill you. No, it doesn't kill you. Parasites, there's a high chance it is all parasites. I agree. There's a very high chance that illness is caused by parasites. But everything else, the germ theory, I don't believe in it. It's terrain. I absolutely see it. There's a great picture showing you terrain. The goldfish in the tank in a bag. That one. I like that picture. Terrain germ theory. There. I like this. It's not quite... Oh, there it is. That's what I'm looking for. Instead of curing you, they put crap into the fish tank. Remember, you are a fish tank, 8 pints of blood. Get on your bed. You are a fish tank, 8 pints of blood, living waters. Like Gandhi said, it's a barbaric act to inject shite straight into a newborn baby and expect them to be okay. It's a theory. Germs are a theory. Terrain theory rules over it. Clean the fish tank, exactly. Vaccinate the fish or clean the fish tank. Parasites are psyops as well. Eats the toxins, then shits it out, but in smaller, safer size. Probably. I haven't seen that information, but Louis Pasteur, bearing in mind, look at that 5 head. That's Louis Pasteur. That's a woman. And then you got Anton Béchamp. I still think Anton Béchamp's a woman. I'm sure I've skull checked the bitch. But they gave you the option of what you should believe in. Parasites are janitors. Yeah, I've seen that. On a BitChute video. He said they were cleaners, not killers. Tapeworms. Now they're not good. But as far as I'm concerned, all the germs, the idea that a virus lives on the air and is passed by airborne disease is nonsense. The common cold or flu will show you this. Not everybody in the house gets the cold. Not everybody in the house gets the flu. Not everybody in the school gets the flu. So on and so on and so on. If God created these diseases, to what point? Why would God create us and then want to kill us with diseases? Makes no sense. Satan would, though. God creates us, Satan hates us. Satan creates diseases, makes us believe in diseases. He made us believe in everything else, space and astronauts and all the rest of it. They can make us believe in anything. Well, I say they could. They can't anymore. Now we're in a different perspective, aren't we, boys and girls? Once your eyes are open to this nonsense. Yeah, that's the one I was thinking of. There. Terrain theory, clean the tank. Germ theory, kill the fish. This is your quaccination, whatever you want to call it. Dies easy. That's what I get from the word disease. Dies easy. You die easy. Is that Sigmund Freud? It is, look, with a rounded... Oh, no, it might be Louis Pasteur. Robert Koch. They're both women. God gave you a brain. He gave you discernment. He gave you the power to think for yourself, which most people don't have. When the cells are so toxic, the cell needs to create a solvent and push it out. Yeah. And they say the gathering of these solvents that are pushed out are what causes the big C. I don't believe in the big C. I just think it's all part of their design to ruin us. We're supposed to get 120 years to find our way back to God. And they're shortening the odds. I've had friends die. I've had friends kill themselves in the 20s. I've had friends die in the 30s, 40s and 50s. They left this earth not only not knowing God existed, but not knowing that Satan had fooled them whilst they were here. Oh, I believe that, YouTube, that God's body that he gave us is so resilient. Even with all the diseases that they've given us and all these things, the human body still carries on, right? It still carries on no matter what they do to us. The children in this world that they have damaged through these concoctions will get justice from God when the time comes. You know what I'm talking about. I'm talking about Down syndrome, spinal bifida, all these diseases that they've given children, and these people revel in giving it to natural people, to ruining families and people's lives. It's your mistake thinking that God did this. Because Ricky Gervais told you, why if God exists, why a baby's got AIDS and cancer, all this. That's them talking again. It's them talking again. God didn't create Down syndrome and spinal. He didn't create. It comes from these bitches, these so-called fucking doctors. Comes from them. If they even existed, but it still comes from Satan. All of it does. The mistake was that you believed them. That was the only mistake. That you believed them. Like my friend whose daughter's got cerebral palsy. The hospital sent him a letter saying There's nothing you could have done. So there's something we could have done then. That's what that letter read when I read it. There's nothing you could have done. So there was something we could have done, the hospital. There's something you could have done. The fact that a man or woman could accept the riches of Satan for doing this to children and normal people, not just children but adults as well. The fact that Satan revels in this is the whole point that God's trying to make. It doesn't matter where you go, Jane. They've even got it in dentists now. It's even in the dentist stuff. Everywhere we go, they put it in the animals, right? Then we eat the animals. All on a fallacy, brought to us by Louis Pasteur. We're not even supposed to pasteurize milk. We can't even buy raw milk anymore. Well, you can. You have to travel to get it, and it costs twice as much. Let me get this right. Milk straight from a cow costs twice as much as you heating up the milk. Then don't heat up the milk. We'll just have it raw. It's better for me that way, I'm told. I'm told it tastes way better as well. When I was younger, especially on a cold day like winter now, for those of you that are my age, you're going to remember this. When I saw milk on a doorstep, because we still had milkmen back then, we don't have milkmen anymore. Well, we do, but they come from Tesco's. We had proper milkmen from a dairy place that came on milk floats and delivered crates of milk to doorsteps. When I was little, on a cold day, not even on a cold day, on a normal day, it doesn't matter. When you walk past the doors looking at the milk bottles, when I looked at milk bottles, and I wondered about this in my 20s, why I didn't see it in my 20s. It vanished in my 20s somewhere, or maybe before then. When I looked at milk bottles, I'd say 80% of the bottle was milk, and then the top section of the bottle was cream. You could visibly see a separation between the milk and the cream. And you used to shake it, and then the cream would go into the milk, making it creamier. I could only imagine somewhere along the lines they did something that stopped that from that to the milk. When I put a milk in the fridge now, it doesn't separate into two segments. It stays as one. They've done something to it since I was 20 odd. Or maybe before 20. But when I was a little boy, in my teens, even in my teens, 12 years old, so what? 1985, there was still real cream going in milk. But now there isn't. Doesn't taste the same. The milk doesn't taste the same. And it's all because of this twat here, Louis Pasteur, telling us about pasteurisation of milk. Pasteur versus Cock. I assume that Cock said raw milk was better and Pasteur said no. And they pushed this one. That's the only thing I can imagine. I'm just assuming. But you should know the difference between germ theory and terrain theory. And which one's going to work better. This one is big pharmaceutical. This one is God. And from now on, well, from, I don't know, 6 years ago, 12 years ago, I started listening to God. I don't accept theories anymore. I like facts. I like to know who it is I'm listening to. Louis Pasteur was a liar. Was an FTM. and probably a Satanist. They're all Satanists, right? Isaac Newton, Albert Einstein, they're all Satanists. Oh my gosh, I've been ranting forever. What were we doing? Who was we doing? Yoko Ono. Back to Yoko Ono. Yoko Ono's dude, straight legs, knees together. Have I got Yoko in the back file? Yoko, Jack and Ono, do. No, I haven't. Right, let's grab a couple more gates and we're done. Right, let's go. Save image 1. Save image 2. That's a nice picture. Knees together, knees apart. There. Burp, burp, burp. Save image. 3. Save image. 4. Save image. That's an ace picture. Straight legs versus broken leg. One more. And that one will do nicely. Japanese man on the left. He's my Japanese boy. Oh, he's my Japanese boy. Alright, I just need your face, Yoko. Yoko, Jakamoto, do. That's better. Right, I've just seen one. There, that looks... It's pretty close. It might be a little bit small, but I don't